Today we are preparing a roasted onion, baby-led weaning style, for a 7-month-old. So you're going to start out, first things first, wash your hands, and we will have an onion. Now I have a yellow onion. I prefer a yellow onion because when it's roasted it becomes very sweet and tender. You can do this with a red onion, and you can do this with a white onion, but they're much more sharp in flavor, so I wouldn't recommend it, at least at first. Your cutting board, a knife. We have our sheet pan ready to go for the oven. I have a bowl for any trash. I have my olive oil and some kind of brush to put the olive oil on. Okay, so let's get started. So before we prep any of the onion, we are going to preheat our oven to 350. And while that preheats, we're going to go back over there and prep our onion. All right, while our oven preheats, we're going to tackle this onion. So, something important to know about the onion when you're preparing it for your baby is that all of the nutrients are actually in the first few layers. So sometimes when I'm cooking for myself, I find it easier to just peel off the whole first layer to get that skin off. But for your baby, you're going to want to be careful about that. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So you're going to keep the end attached, and you're going to cut off this part and get rid of it. Now, and this is what I'm talking about. To me, when I'm just cooking for myself, sometimes I'll just take this whole first layer off. But like I said, all of the nutrients are in the first few layers. So we're going to be more careful about that. And that skin here is a little tough. There we go. And you can see, even though it's tearing, that's okay. At least we're not taking it completely off. Now, it might seem odd to cook an onion for a baby, and I would not recommend it for their first food when they are 6 months old. My son is 7 months old, almost 8 now. He's been through a variety of foods, so it's a good time to start. This increases your iron intake, so it's great to serve roasted onion with iron-rich foods, and it's also great. It has great antioxidant properties, so it might seem weird to serve an onion, but believe me, when it's roasted, it's so sweet and delicious. So you're going to take the onion, you're going to cut it into quarters. When they are 7 months old, they typically still have the palmar grasp, so you're still going to want longer pieces of food so that when they grab it, it still sticks out both ends of their hand. Okay? And you're not going to worry about these little pieces that fall off. They're not harmful, and they'll get kind of taken away during the process. Okay? Now, you're not going to do anything else because when it roasts, the layers will start to separate. So, we are going to put a little olive oil down. It's a healthy fat for them, so it's perfect to add it. If you don't put olive oil down, your onions will be sure to stick. So make sure you get that all over. Then we're just gonna put our onions down, rub them in. And we'll take that olive oil and just give a little bit on each one. And just lightly brush it. And it's as simple as that. These are ready to go into the oven. Okay, so now that our oven is preheated, 350 degrees, I'm gonna put it in the middle. And we are going to set it for 40 to 50 minutes. I would start with 40, and if you need more, there we go, then you can do more. All right, 40 minutes is up. Here they are. Now, it's important to let them cool because you have to peel the layers in order to prepare it properly. So we're just gonna let it sit here and cool, and then we will talk about how to serve it to your baby. All right, so they are out of the oven. They are cooled all the way down. So I started preparing one of them, and I put them in this container to be stored in the fridge. So this is how I do it. So you'll take a wedge, and the top layer will be quite crispy. We do not want to give our baby that. Now, you're going to peel wedge by wedge. Now, this outer part, this brown part is not crispy at all. It's actually just caramelized, so that's good. That's where the sweetness comes in. So you're going to keep that. You're going to peel off the inner skin. And then I like to just take a knife and cut off any small crispy parts like this, because that just could be a choking hazard. So better to be safe. So this is what it will look like. And because he is 7 months old, he still has the palmar grasp, like I said, so I keep them this way. And he will use his 2 little teeth to take off little bites here and there. Now, the whole purpose of baby-led weaning is to let him try to learn how to eat himself. So it's not like he is going to eat this whole onion every bite, start to finish. It's more of a learning process than that. But he does thoroughly enjoy these onions, so he does eat a lot of it. Other times he will kind of like munch on it a little bit here and there. This one's being very tricky. There we go. So that's all I do. I go through each wedge, take off the skin, take off any crispy parts, and then when I get to these tiny pieces at the bottom, like this piece is fine. It's definitely big enough. But when you get to these pieces, these are too small for him to really pick up and manipulate, so I will get rid of these or I will actually eat them myself. And that's it. I'm going to do that to these 2. I stored in here in the fridge, and when it's time for him to eat them, I'll get out 2 pieces, and I will microwave them for about 10 to 15 seconds, and he loves them. So let me know if you try it out. Thanks for watching.